Cathy DeAngelo, thanks for coming back.
Great to see you again, Kevin.
Same station, Port Jeff Pulse, new show, Coffee Talk.
Yeah, wonderful.
And,
Comfortable.
Yep, comfortable as heck. First thing in the morning, what could be better than a cup of coffee and a talk?
That's right.
Cathy, what's new at Jefferson's Ferry?
Well, we've had a really busy couple of years, actually, since the last time I saw you.
It's about 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Wow, time goes fast.
Amazing, amazing. We're in the middle of moving forward with an expansion at Jefferson's Ferry. We've been around for 18 years, so it's time for us to, reface a little bit. And there were some new things that we needed to do. We needed to improve memory care, and so we're adding a particular licensure, which will enable us to provide a secure memory care at the assisted living level.
What exactly is that?
It's a secure unit for people who are suffering with dementia.
Dementia, yeah.
Yes. And right now we do service that clientele in our skilled nursing.
Right.
So this will allow us to do
What
it.
a specialization, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you want to be trained for dementia. We have dementia training going on. We're always
That's awesome.
doing a lot in the healthcare field to try and keep our staff up to snuff. We have great staff, and we've been recognized a lot over the last couple of years. So we'll hopefully talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about, first of all, in letting our audience know exactly what your location is.
We are at 1 Jefferson Ferry Drive, right on the corner of 347 and Wireless Road.
Right, in Port Jefferson Station.
Well, in South Setauket.
Setauket, right.
Kind of right next door.
I'll tell you how I know exactly where it is. I made my communion at the Fox Theater. You probably don't remember. I'm not sure if you remember, but right across the street was the famous Fox Theater, and for some reason, I guess we were a big class, that's where we made our communion.
Oh my gosh.
Right across the street. Now it's a bank, of course.
Yeah, right.
So particularly on the expansion since I last saw you, what happened there? There was some physical expansion as well?
So we haven't actually expanded yet. Right now we're holding a lot of events to really determine interest out there in the community. We have had a lot of interest, which is great. So what we're going to be doing is we'll be expanding that memory care, kind of revamping some of our healthcare center to provide more common space and update it. We're going to increase the common space for our current existing living, and to offset those, we are going to be building about 73 new apartments. Okay. So that'll help to offset the costs of developing the healthcare center.
So I think people need to understand, so typically if someone's getting older, they live in, for example, Coram, and so how and why would they happen upon Jefferson's Ferry to make that the next phase of their life?
The most important thing people can do is make a plan for the future, whatever that plan is, and understand the financial ramifications, the social ramifications. Really, you want to go through all the dimensions of wellness to make sure that your future is safe, secure, happy, social, intellectual. You're dealing with all of those dimensions of wellness, and that's so important as we age to age successfully. So Jefferson's Ferries really starts out at independent living. So you come in, you financially qualify, you medically qualify, everything's independent, and that you're able to take care of yourself and do all the things that you want to do. Hopefully live a great life, very active. We have lots of things to do for people.
Remaining, if you're a couple, do you remain as a couple?
Of course.
If you're married, that apartment is that apartment?
Yes, so what happens is if one or both need additional services, meaning somebody is unable to maybe function really well in the independent living, and maybe assisted living would be better for them. One of them can move to our assisted living. The other would stay in the independent living apartment. The best thing is that their price doesn't change, so they still continue to pay the same rate. Even if one or both of them go to skilled nursing, which is where really, your healthcare costs are very high. Average in the state is probably about $15,000.
Well, that's incredible. That's what I was going to talk to you about, because you hear this all the time. The people that don't plan, for example, or can't plan, there was an article in USA Today where a gentleman actually moved into a Holiday Inn because it was less money than going to the next step. Now that's, obviously there's no assistance there at all whatsoever, but how does one afford this? Again, it probably comes down to planning, right?
Well, it does. I think most people, if they own their own home, usually sell their home in order to pay an entrance fee coming into Jefferson's Ferry. But again, once they've paid that fee, they just pay a monthly fee. And because the monthly fee doesn't change based on their level of living, it becomes a very predictable monthly fee through the course of their lifetime. So they can they can predict what their health care is going to cost, 20 years from now.
Right.
Based on, average lengths of stay and so forth. And the great thing about Jefferson's Ferry as a nonprofit is we support people even if they've run out of money through no fault of their own. We will keep them there.
Nice.
We have a resident assistance funds that helps to offset those monthly costs on an
No,
ongoing.
I know it's just so difficult for people to.
It really
I
is.
have, especially on Long Island, just you either really have the wherewithal and resources, or sometimes you don't, and unfortunately people have to move. But in this case, it's good to know you have those options. You were talking about some awards that have come by Jefferson's Ferry since the last time we met.
I have a little cheat sheet just to make sure that I talk about them appropriately. But over the last couple of years, we do a lot of surveying. We try to be the best in our field. We follow best practices, and really, our staff is wonderful, and we really encourage people to go above and beyond, and they do. We're very fortunate, and we've received a few awards. One is the Pinnacle Quality Insights Award. It was the 2019 Customer Experience Award, and Pinnacle actually surveys all healthcare centers, and about 2,700 of them across the country, Canada, Puerto Rico, they survey. And this is over a 12-month period, and what happens is we received an award, Best in Class, for service in assisted living and skilled nursing, and we scored in the top 15% of those facilities nationwide. So we are very honored to have that. And of course, we excelled in nursing care and cleanliness and recommendation to others, activity safety and security. So that was a really big award. I think we're very proud of that. Our staff is very proud of that because they worked really hard.
Absolutely.
In December of 2018, we also were awarded the Community Choice Award by Holleran Consulting. And they're a Holleran Consult, which what they do is they survey a lot of life plan communities nationwide, so they have benchmarks that you need to reach. And we received the Community Choice Award for resident engagement.
Fantastic.
Which was really another honor, and they do hundreds of surveys. I think they did something like 207,000 surveys. It's an independent consulting company.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of. Fantastic.
Absolutely. We were also recognized by the state for implementation of safety incentives, the return to work program, drug and alcohol prevention programs to assure that we take really precautionary measures to ensure the highest quality safety in the workplace. And we've also received Best of Long Island. Again, Best Retirement Community. This is 5 years running. So, even though we're really proud of our awards, it's really...
One location, by the way, right?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So you've gotten it all with just the one location, so which is great because you can focus big time. I don't remember if I told you this last time, but in terms of recreation or just items and programs that your residents can enjoy, my grandfather actually entertained the residents of Jefferson's Ferry. He himself at the time was 80-something years old, and he's a saxophonist. And
oh my gosh.
I just remember the faces.
Sure.
I was at that gig, so to speak, and he was so happy.
Was he in the skilled nursing, or do you know where he?
Yeah. There was a recreational room. I know people were wheeled in, and they just enjoyed it, and it was so fulfilling. Yeah. So I'm sure you have those from time to time.
We do. We have only 60 skilled nursing and 60 assisted living. Predominantly, Jefferson's Ferry is really independent living.
Right.
Active adult community, 62 and up. We have over 300 residents in independent living, and then another 120 or so in the healthcare center.
Fantastic.
So it's a great place.
Very good. We should mention your title is Sales and Marketing, right?
Yes.
Head of Sales and Marketing for Jefferson's Ferry. Your office is right there on 347?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So day to day, you're putting the word out, just as we are on the show,
Absolutely.
on just how great you guys are and how you're a great choice for the community.
We are.
What else do you want to tell our audience? Anything?
Well, I just recommend, as I mentioned, people need to have a plan, and so you want to research
options. When should that plan
options.
start? Because I'm feeling like I'm never sitting down at the table and having a plan, and I need to. I need, because I'll be married 30 years this Friday.
Oh,
and
happy
I'm just like,
anniversary.
thank you so much. I'm just looking back and going, where did that time go? I swear It feels like 30 weeks.
It does go by very fast.
So it goes
yes.
by, life goes by fast, and then this is very important that if you think you're not going to sit at the table in your 40s, you're crazy. Or 40s, even 50s, or it's not soon enough, really.
65% of the population over 65 will need some form of long-term care.
Okay, that's
So,
the number.
You want to be prepared. That's well over half. You want to be prepared for the what if, and we don't know what insurance is going to do.
And just talk to them about, even if
Absolutely.
they don't need anything for the next 10 years, just so they get, because I think this is a sort of where people are in the weeds. They don't understand.
No, well, and they don't understand the cost. I mean, I've been doing this about 16 years, and I sit there and say, okay, if I had a crystal ball, it would be wonderful. But unfortunately, I don't.
And so many
no
things
one
are
else does.
unpredictable today.
And everybody knows themselves. I always tell people, do your homework. Meaning, go home and look in the mirror and say, what does my life look like in 10 years or 20 years?
It's
What do
hard,
I
isn't it?
say?
Isn't it hard for people to
That is the
self-analyze?
hardest thing ever.
Yeah. Same
But
with
the most
retirement.
important thing that someone can do, because we all know our health's better than even our doctors, because we all know
Yes, we do.
how we're feeling and whatever. And so you want to take those feelings into consideration and say, what does my life look like? If I'm like having trouble with my knees now, it's like, am I going to be able to walk very well 20 years from now? I don't know.
This is another funny thing, right? So like 2 or 3 times a night, I have little dogs, but they're older. So they get up 2 or 3 times a night. I'm the guy that does it. I live in a big house with big stairs.
Oh.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I can't. This is not happening in
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah.
I'm going to fall down these stairs.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking at least one level in my life.
it's so important just to have a plan, and I would say research your options and see what's out there. If people want to stay at home, certainly you can, but you want to make sure there's a lot of. Are you going to get the social engagement that you need? Are you going to get the physical stimulation, the intellectual stimulation? Are those things? And what's the cost?
Maintenance.
And the maintenance on
Yeah,
your house and so forth. You want to be prepared for what that looks like, as well as, go to other communities and say, what is it that you offer? What are my finances? Do I have long-term care insurance? How does that work in the different areas? And I talk to people who have long-term care insurance and they've had it for 30 years. They have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
They need to
sold
know.
on
You
that,
need
and
to look.
Yeah. Look at the fine
You
print,
need to
too.
look. Yeah.
Phenomenal. So glad you stopped by. Why don't you let people know where they can call or email you for further information?
Sure, they can email us at welcome@jeffersonsferry.org, or they can call 631-675-5550.
Jefferson's Ferry.
Jefferson's Ferry.
Thanks for coming back. I hope to see you and your CEO next time.
Thank you.
Possible.
Yes, I hope so.
Great. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kevin.